Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, is the PC muscle race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
What's poppin'?
Hi, LeRon.
Sorry, y'all. I have sleeves on tonight. Sorry, but I am rocking a nice crisp V-neck.
Man, look, no sleeves, no Stephanie. We are lacking.
We're destitute.
Fine. We're here,
Hey,
though.
I like that flashy new look, though. Damn, that is nice.
Yeah, I did a
Wait,
lot
are we simulcasting right now?
Are we?
I'm curious. Are we on both YouTube and Twitch tonight?
No, not this week.
Okay.
We're gonna start doing that. I didn't feel like setting it up, to be honest with you.
Okay, gotcha.
It's kind of set up, but also like restream it was acting weird, and I didn't feel like messing up my OBS stuff because sometimes when I mess with it, my system crashes, and that's always a good time.
Oh, understandable.
So, yeah, my goal is not next. Well, maybe by next episode we will be simul streaming across the board on all the shows. So, yeah, it's just me and LeRon tonight. Little intimate black T-shirt action here.
I know. What is this? We're almost twins. You got the traditional, and I got the V.
I know. It's true. That is true. How's your week going, LeRon?
It's been a week. It's been a week. I as you guys know, like my roommate had COVID. He's pretty much recovered. And I keep getting like weird like COVID scares. Is that he's forced me to take either at home tests or actually go get PCRs. Like everything's negative. But I had to go get I went and got another PCR test done early this week because
you're paranoid.
Paranoid, yeah. But I took an at-home test, and you know how you're supposed to like wait 15 minutes and read the results.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 15 minutes later, after I did the test, the results showed up negative, and like I had to finish up a few things, and then go on about my business. And then when I came back to throw the test away because I left it on the dining room table.
Mm-hmm.
I can't throw the test away, and when I went to throw it away, like I caught it in the light of the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
And I could see a faint pink line, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, but you're supposed to check in 15 minutes because after 20 minutes that line shows up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, they very specifically tell you 15 minutes because any amount of time after 15 minutes, like that line will show up, and at some point, if you checked it now, the line would be like probably darker than the baseline.
Okay then. All right. So I worried myself for no reason.
Yeah, you did, LeRon. What are you doing?
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
That's me. Like I don't call myself a mild hypochondriac for nothing.
That's fine. It's fine. We all are to an extent. So, yeah. No Stephanie tonight. She's getting a well-deserved rest. So, Stephanie, I know you're listening to this. Feel better, so you can come back next week.
Feel better. We miss you.
Yeah. This is awkward. Me and LeRon talking. It's weird.
How's it awkward?
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you.
How's it awkward? If anything, it's just another. It's another night at 1:15 in the morning.
Trying to start the After Dark show way too early tonight. Man. Well, LeRon, while we're talking about other people, we have some patrons to shout out.
Yes.
You can support the Boss Rush Podcast and our other shows by heading over to Patreon, patreon.com/Boss Rush Network, where you can get this show on audio feeds 1 week early, as well as Expansion Pass 1 week early, and Standard Definition 2 weeks early, and After Dark 2 weeks early. So you're getting 4 shows early, all on one sweet, sweet podcast feed. And yeah, you can get all that for just $1 by supporting us. But if you want to be a Patreon producer, you can head on over there and subscribe at the $5 tier. What does that mean? Well, it means you get your name shouted out on this here program, as well as our other shows. LeRon, let's read our Patreon producers, shall we?
Yes, let's do it.
Patreon producers for this week's episode are Quentin Jackson, Rebecca Jewell, Adriel Munger, and my wife, Sana Dierig. I want to thank all of our patrons. I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our free listeners. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star rating or review. It really helps us out. And remember, all of our content is free. You just get a few perks if you support us financially. But if not, 5-star rating helps as well.
Whether you are a Patreon supporter or just a full-time listener, we love you and we appreciate you.
Yes, we do. Also, if you want to see our new look, you can head on over to our YouTube channel. I have this really weird stuffiness in my nose right now, and it's about to come out. It's a sneeze. No, it's not.
You know what to do. Mute the mic. You know what to do.
I know. You can head on over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BossRushNetwork. You can see our new look, our fresh new look for this show, as well as a few others. This was quite a project to redesign because I am a loser and just decide to do it whenever I feel like it. So. LeRon, are you doing anything fun? Did you watch anything, play anything, do anything?
Well, I'm actually caught up on Obi-Wan. Like I actually watched episode 5 this morning.
So did I.
Dude.
Okay, so can we talk about Obi-Wan?
Let's do it.
Yeah, okay. So full spoilers for Obi-Wan. If you don't want to hear it, I'm sorry, but we're going to talk about it. LeRon, Darth Vader is scary.
Right? This is the Darth Vader that has been depicted in the comic books.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we got a glimpse of it at the end of Rogue One, right? But this Darth Vader, man, like episode 3, he was scary. Like this episode was scary.
He is raw,
dude. He caught a spaceship and just held it.
Hey, dude, that's just like the Force Unleashed. Remember?
I know. But like this was cooler because Force Unleashed is no longer canon.
Well, number one, like that ship he caught in the Force Unleashed, that was a full blown Star Destroyer. I don't believe that. Like this frigate he caught, like I feel that's a little more acceptable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I mean Obi-Wan is good. I'm really liking the show. I know a lot of people are kind of complaining because it's slow paced and it's
slow paced.
It's not all lightsaber battles and whatever. Like
wait. They're acting. Okay, I know Obi-Wan is like technically what? It's 10 years since
10 years after Revenge of the Sith, yes.
Okay, so he's not that old, but at the same time, you don't use the Force, in a galaxy run by the Sith. You don't do that, Yeah. So it makes obvious sense that he's rusty, because like anytime another Force sensitive person could find him, and it's not always going to be a lightsider,
Yeah.
So I don't get all the detractors from this show. Like it's a good show. Like I feel like the pacing is fine. Like there's been something going on every single episode. It's not like any episode has felt like filler. It is not like that,
Yeah.
And like it's got the Star Wars pacing because it keeps jumping back and forth to like it does what all Star Wars movie does. It jumps back and forth to like 3 or 4 different parts of the plot in each story.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got something going on Alderaan, you got something going on Tatooine, you got something going on any of the Sith homeworld, the Inquisitor homeworlds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and by the way, the Inquisitor, like I can't remember the name of it. No. The name of their headquarters, because they've got like 4.
The Fortress Inquisitoris or whatever. It's the
Inquisitoria.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. It's the same place that's in Jedi Fallen Order at the end of Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah,
they've confirmed it's the same one, and it's cool because there's actually mirroring scenes from the game in the show, like when. Yeah. Spoilers for Jedi Fallen Order, I guess. I know a lot of people are playing it for the first time, but like there's a scene where the glass breaks and one of the characters has to use the Force to hold the water back while the glass breaks. Well, Obi-Wan kind of does that in the show, and it's pretty cool. I mean, he doesn't hold the water back really. He kind of holds the glass, and then the water breaks, and then he sprints for it. But like, I'm I'm actually quite impressed with this show. This is probably my
This show
favorite.
is doing good things. This show is doing good things, and I just refuse to understand the people who are having such visceral reactions. Like like people who come from Moses Ingram. By the way, I hope you're happy now.
Yeah,
By the way, and
she's
also
an awesome
she's
character.
yeah, yeah, and like knowing what we know about her, especially by the time you get to this episode, knowing what you know about her now, like you can understand why she's not a conventional Sith.
Hmm.
You understand, but you
Hmm.
gotta get to this point, and
Yeah,
you assholes who are like, oh, this is bullshit and all this stuff. You force the lead writer of the show to actually get on social media and break and like ruin the plot on social media. Shame on you guys
yeah.
because you
Oh,
just
I
gotta
didn't
trust
see
the
that part.
process.
I didn't see
Oh, you
that.
didn't? No.
Uh-uh.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. Yeah, like they were pissed off because of like the stuff that was going on with the Grand Inquisitor and stuff like that because like Star Wars Rebels is canon.
Right.
So they were pissed off about that. They were like, oh, there's no way like he could be dead and whatnot. Like spoiler alert, he's not dead. Like,
Yeah.
did you watch freaking Star Wars Rebels? They already acknowledged that Star Wars Rebels is canon. So
Yeah.
whatever's going on right now in Obi-Wan, we know how the story pans out.
Yeah. It's
Just like just like we know, like Vader is eventually going to run across Ahsoka.
yeah. It's
We know all this stuff.
yeah. So this show actually has me really excited for the Ahsoka show as well
Hmm.
because I think the Ahsoka show is running after Return of the Jedi, right? Did they confirm that?
Yeah.
Although I would love to see her in this show.
Ahsoka, Mandalorian, and Boba Fett are all taking place in
Right.
relatively the same time.
Right. And then Obi-Wan, Andor,
Are
and
prequels.
there's another show that's running kind of similar to this too. Oh, that Jude Law
There's
show, the Jude Law show that they announced is also
What Jude Law show is this?
the hold on, let me look it up. It's
Wow, they got Jude Law and Ewan McGregor in the same continuity now.
yeah, let me see. It's Jude Law Star Wars show is called Skeleton Crew, and it's a group of younglings who are about 10 years old who get lost in the Star Wars universe, and he's kind of like the focal point of the show. So yeah, I don't know, that seems more like a kid show, but that show's also supposedly running around this time frame as well. But yeah, man, Obi-Wan, like the only part of the show I did not like was the Leia chase scene at the beginning. That's the only scene of the show that I did not like. I would say most of the first half of the first episode were like kind of cheesy, like prequel-y kind of stuff. But like I still like I love Jimmy Smith still going as this character.
Yeah.
The girl that's playing young Leia is hilarious.
I know, man. It's amazing.
She's so good.
Yeah.
I'm like thoroughly impressed with this girl. Reva's cool. I like that they brought back Edgerton as Joel Edgerton as Owen Lars. Like, this show is doing a lot of great things. The episode that aired today, they showed flashbacks of like circa episode 2 of Obi-Wan.
Yeah, because Anakin had his little rat tail braid.
Well, yeah, but he also had his arm still.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see any because like I rewound that scene and I was looking. I was like, I don't think he has it covered. So, which was cool. I really liked that flashback. Gosh, dude, Ewan McGregor's like episode 2 mullet is just it's hilariously bad.
Yeah, like it looked like they de-aged Christensen, didn't they?
A little bit. I think they de-aged both of them a little bit, to be honest. I mean, not that Christian Hayden looks old or anything, but like,
well, no, he looks older.
I mean, he looks older, but he doesn't look old. Like, if you look at him now, he doesn't look old, but he doesn't look like he's 18 or 19 or however old he was when he was filming episode 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love everything about this show. And Darth Vader is scary. Like when he walked through the town in episode 3 and just kind of just murdered people without.
Yo, like man, like it. You know what? The one I feel like these serialized Star Wars episodes they feel like real space westerns,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's something the movies could never do. Like, well, they couldn't give it real justice. The movies always focused on the fantasy part of it, you know,
Yeah.
man. These feel like these. This feels like, you know, all they had to do was like take away lightsabers, you know, like switch out blasters for freaking, you know, like Colt revolvers and stuff. And it's the Wild West, you know, horses and stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I
remember?
love the feel of this.
Yeah, I mean, remember everybody's favorite character in the Mandalorian season 2 was Timothy Oliphant's character,
Yep.
who was literally a cowboy with a red scarf and a blaster.
That was so cool. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
But yeah, I mean, what are you liking about Obi-Wan? I mean,
You know what? I like the overall look and design of it.
mm-hmm.
You know, like it definitely it looks like a very modern, like, you know, it looks like a very modern take on Star Wars, despite it being a prequel and stuff like that. You know, it looks really clean. I do like the fact that, you know, like it's showing like Obi-Wan is dealing with trauma from Mustafar to you know, from Mustafar to Coruscant to Tatooine. He's dealing with serious trauma from all the stuff that's happened to him in the 10 years prior and stuff like that, you know, like, and the guy basically he gave up, you know.
Yeah.
He gave up, one, because like he didn't want to be killed. He didn't want to be hunted down and murdered, you know. And God, like when he was in the Inquisitor Fortress, man, seeing the tomb of the Jedi. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was like
that was hardcore. I want to say that's probably one of the most graphic things we've seen in Star Wars.
Yeah, it was horrifying. It was like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so scary. Like just
yeah.
And
did you notice the disclaimers they had before you start the episode today, right?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Talking about the violence depicted in there, because man, like they actually showed Vader cut down them kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, they showed Anakin as the newly molded Vader.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that whole scene, man, like I really liked the kind of three-way storytelling they were going with, right? Because they were obviously showing like the flashback of Obi-Wan and Anakin, like the whole plot of this episode was like, okay, Obi-Wan's going to use Darth Vader's kind of aggression and need to prove himself against him, right? And that was the whole point of the flashback, to show like, Obi-Wan can win without his lightsaber, right? And because Anakin's too aggressive and he's too able to, he's still trying to prove himself, and he always wants to try to prove himself and to win no matter what, right? And that was like, you know, he's impatient also.
And it's crazy too, because Anakin / Vader has never learned that lesson. Because remember Count Dooku chastised him about that, you know, a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yoda says something to him about that. Mace Windu says something about him to that. Definitely Obi-Wan has said something to him. And shit, you probably look deep enough, even the Emperor has said something to him about that shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, and like it even
I hate to say it. I love the fact. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. I love the fact that they're actually showing that, you know, like Darth Vader is highly flawed. I like this because that's the one thing, you know, like, because you know me, I'm not a super big Star Wars fan. I'm more of a Trekkie than Star Wars. And the one thing that we've always heard for years is that Darth Vader is the best. You know, people automatically said Darth Vader is the best without like any real point of reference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and now we're seeing like this guy is flawed. You know, your Sith superhero is flawed, and I love it. And, you know, and you know, I know someone's gonna be listening to this and they're gonna be all pissed off at me for saying this, but hey, like, this is what makes these characters more real. Like, if they were just Superman, like for example, Superman, you know, like, yeah, like there's no dimensionality to that, you know, being perfect.
Yeah.
You know?
And, you know, his sole purpose in this show is to hunt down Obi-Wan, right? And that's like, it's consuming him. You can tell it's consuming him. And like, I like the way that it actually kind of, everybody's talking about, well, how are they doing the show with Darth Vader and Obi-Wan if in episode 4 they supposedly haven't battled or seen each other since, whatever happened, right? And
This episode
but
kind of this
well,
episode kind of said that.
yeah, well, they kind of like work that line into the storyline, right? Where like,
Mhm.
uh when we last met, I was but the learner, now I'm the master. Well,
Yeah.
like the whole flashback scene was Obi-Wan showing Anakin that he was still the Padawan, right?
Yep.
Because he still had a lot to learn. And
Hmm.
then you get to the current state where they're, kind of trying to get everybody out, and uh, Obi-Wan is like, he tricks Vader and he's still learning, right? And
Yep.
like that's where that line kind of comes in. And I really kind of like how they did that. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like it was just like, and I know a lot of people probably won't even notice that at first, right? But
Mm.
it
They
was
won't because
go ahead.
I was just saying no, they won't because they're going to be too blinded by the fact that like they're going to be too blinded by the fact that they're trying to get their fanboy moment out of it.
Hmm. Yeah, and then when Vader realizes he's defeated, and like uh, Reva walks up behind him and tries to like stab
Oh,
him, and
I was like, girl, you picked the wrong time.
dude, it was so cool. Then there's so many flashbacks from Attack of the Clones in there, right? Where like,
Yeah.
well, first of all, he starts fighting Reva. He's like, he blocks her lightsaber. Well, okay, before we get to the Reva fight, I want to talk about how he catches a spaceship in the air and just holds it there again, because that whole scene was so cool. I was like,
Yeah.
and it threw me. I was like, oh no, is he really gonna catch all these people? And
I
then
watched
like,
I was watching it in bed this morning. So like when he caught that starship, I sat up.
yeah, yeah, that was so cool. Because like, again, in episode 4, he says, the power to blow up a planet is no match for the power of the Force, and you're like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, you're gonna blow up a planet, but like, when you see certain scenes, like things that happen in Rogue One and things that happen in the show, and when he
Mhm.
catches a starship taking off, you totally believe he could like, oh boy, he could like probably do some
He's gonna wreck
damage.
some shit.
Yeah,
He's gonna
yeah, and then like when it falls to the ground and he walks in,
and he
just
rips it open.
yeah, like he literally rips the side of the side panel off and realizes it's empty, and then he watches the other one fly away, right? And he's like super angry.
Well, yeah, but you know what's also cool about that? Like, I do like because like if you look at his body language when he sees the second ship take
Uh-huh.
off, you can tell that he's visibly like he's visibly fatigued
Yeah.
from catching the other ship. So
Mhm.
it's not like there's this big well of like strength that like
Mhm.
he's gonna have.
Yeah. He's like, he has like all this strength, but only for a certain amount of time, because like, he's still technically kind of learning how to use this body, and like,
Hmm.
I mean, he's half machine, he's when
Yeah,
they were
that's the other thing
putting
too.
together.
His path to the force is muddied because he's not a whole individual anymore.
Yeah, and he just, it's amazing to watch. But then like, he blocks Reva's lightsaber when she sneaks up on him, and like the first like half of the fight, he's just
Oh,
literally fighting her with the Force and not even using a lightsaber. And
dude,
then
I thought Jon Favreau directed this episode because man, I was looking at it and it's like watching a old martial arts flick where he's like doing the hand movements and blocking everything. I was like, what the fuck
yeah,
is going on here?
and it was really cool to watch him. And then she pulls out the double lightsaber. He breaks it in half with the Force, first of all, and then he
Yeah,
uses both lightsabers, which was so cool, because like
and
that goes back to Attack of the Clones too, when he's fighting Count Dooku in the cave, right, where he uses
yeah,
Obi-Wan's and his to fight Dooku, and then
yeah.
obviously he gets his arm cut off. But like, that whole scene of Darth Vader using two lightsabers was incredibly cool.
Now I feel like him and the Grand and the OG Grand Inquisitor. I feel like the Vader and the OG Grand Inquisitor made a mistake when dealing with her
Hmm.
because they needed to vanquish her. Like
Hmm.
I think my thinking is like like she probably wants to plot some revenge, but at this point she probably should think just to lay low.
Yeah, I think that she is. I think that Vader left her alive for a reason. Because like even though he's very impatient and very, you know, aggressive, he does still do things with a purpose, right? And
Yeah.
everything is still thought out. So I think that he is. She's alive, and she is going to somehow. I don't know, because the rumor is she's getting her own spinoff show.
Which is gonna piss those haters off even more. But
Yeah.
I'm here for it because I mean like because here's the thing about it like the Inquisitors are something brand new that was brought up for Star Wars Rebels and then it got expanded to Fallen Order.
Mm-hmm.
So they can literally make the Inquisitors up as they go along and stuff like that. So like if we're gonna actually like look at something like that's based on the Inquisitors and stuff like that, I'm here for it. Because
Yeah.
I think the Inquisitors were like the coolest thing that was added to Star Wars when you consider that like technically none of these guys can be masters or apprentices because there's a rule of two with the Sith, which I think is the stupidest fucking thing in the world. I understand the lore and the logic behind it. Like if everybody was a Sith Lord, there'd be no order.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also stupid that you have a Sith Lord and he can literally have like an entire horde of apprentices, but they're not really apprentices.
Right.
Yeah. That's a weird ass rule, and like I feel like I need to go to Lucas Ranch and ask George Lucas, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah. Yeah. It's I just think the show is very cool and well done, and I think the new characters and the old characters, like what's his name, Ice Cube's son is in it. He's a really cool character.
Yeah.
The girl, the woman character that was like the double agent.
Oh God,
Tala, I think is his name.
Oh man, it's so I have this problem with TV shows TV shows and movies. I always fall in love with the quote unquote doomed character. I always do that, and man, I kind of knew something was going on because the previously on Obi-Wan Kenobi, it focused on her too much. I was like, oh damn it.
Yeah, and plus I kind of figured, especially like if they don't do a second season, which all signs are kind of pointing that they're going to do a second season now, because the show is so popular. Did you know this is Disney Plus's most watched show ever?
Yeah, which is weird because it feels like it's also his most hated show.
Yeah, it's just crazy because like how popular Marvel is and how kind of seemingly not popular Star Wars is.
Yeah,
really, and
well, I think honestly it's because like guys like us, guys our age and stuff, like we grew up on like the original trilogy and stuff like that, and so there's certain parts I feel like we're more interested. We're more invested in what happened with the characters that we grew up with before the prequel trilogy happened and before the sequel trilogy happened. Stuff like that. Like we want to know what happened. Like we want to see what winds up becoming the what is it, the First Republic. When that happens.
Yeah. So it's just Obi-Wan is a great show. I highly recommend it.
Same.
Yeah, I know. Like for me, like the first half of the first episode did not do anything special for me, but everything after that, like even when they're going to try to, like when Leia is kidnapped and they, are being chased through the cyberpunky city, right? And then you kind of the whole show is just so good. I cannot wait for the series. I can't believe it's almost over now. Like next week's the last episode.
Oh, it's only 6 episodes. That's right.
And then Andor starts, I think, the first week of August, because Captain Marvel is also going on right now.
Ms. Marvel.
Miss Marvel, yeah. Sorry.
Which I haven't even started yet.
You should, man. It's super. Like after watching like how dark and kind of grim and that Star Wars is, like it's such the polar opposite. It's such a cute show. And people should watch that too.
I haven't watched Moon Knight yet. I need to.
I wasn't that into Moon Knight. It was fine.
My roommate's been giving me shit about that because he's like, "Why haven't you watched Moon Knight yet?" I'm like, I'm not entirely enthusiastic about watching it right now. That's really been my thing. Like I didn't really follow Okay, I guess this isn't a real argument because I never really found the Moon Knight comics anything appealing and stuff like that. Like I don't know
Hmm.
anything about this guy, stuff like that. So like I had no logical connection to Moon Knight as a whole.
Hmm.
And like compared to like the MCU, like let's like I didn't really read any Iron Man comics or any Hulk comics or any Thor comics, but I knew about the Avengers and I knew about Captain America and stuff like that. So that was my buy-in right there. And because like the MCU, like molded their first entire arc around those characters, I wound up coming to appreciate them and stuff like that. Whereas Moon Knight, I feel like Moon Knight's an outsider to me.
Hmm.
Like I've never seen any time the Avengers have an action and Moon Knight was there.
Right.
Yeah, not in the comics at least and stuff like that. Like if anything is always the Avengers and the X-Men, which what the hell are they waiting for?
Right.
Yeah, but my roommate he can't understand it, and I'm like, I'm going to watch it. I'm just not in any hurry to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I didn't. It might be my least favorite Marvel show, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Moon Knight.
I can hear. Yeah, I can hear Josh Finney rolling his eyes and just climbing through the camera right now, but it's okay.
Why does he love Moon Knight?
He loves Moon Knight.
Okay.
Like he's obsessed with Moon Knight. But to keep up with the MCU, I watched it. So
Yeah, I'm behind on the MCU. Like I still haven't seen Eternals. I haven't made it to the theaters yet to see Doctor Strange.
well, good. Guess what? It's coming to Disney Plus next week.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Uh, what else? You doing anything else? You watching anything else? You playing anything else?
Well, let's see. Let's see. Last weekend was it last weekend? Okay, yeah. So this past weekend I watched the movie Fire Island. It's basically a gay rom com.
Mm.
And it's
Oh,
got and the
it's got the Asian guy from SNL in it, right?
yeah, Bo and Yang, yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah, it's well the leads in it are Asians, and it's actually pretty cool. Like I was talking to my boyfriend after because we both watched it, and I was talking to him after it, and I was like, I really enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed it so much that I watched it again the next day.
Hmm.
And it's funny because like this is kind of like the gay version of Mean Girls. You know,
The gay
it,
version of Mean Girls
okay.
is Mean Girls not gay enough?
Well, Mean Girls is gay, but you know how Mean Girls like talked about like all the archetypes of like being in girl world.
Right.
Yeah, like this movie does a really good job of talking about the archetypes of gay world. There's still some things they missed because they didn't have bisexual people in there. I was like, what? No bi visibility? What the fuck's wrong with y'all?
Gay only,
And
LeRon.
I know, like yeah, like, but no, like it was funny, and it was story driven, but and it's good, like if you're I'm just gonna recommend to anyone that's listening right now, like like if you're cool and comfortable with it. I mean, there's not any hardcore like gay stuff, so you're not gonna see like dicks in your face and stuff like that. If you're, but if it's something, if you're flexible enough and stuff like that, give it a watch. It's actually a really good movie. It's got a really strong plot and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, like it's a rom com, so it's a love story.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a good cast though. It's got Bo and Yang. It's got Joel Kim Booster and Margaret Cho's in it. So yeah, um, it's got some good stuff in it.
Cool.
And then that's about the most because I mean I'm just on my usual grind, my other weekly stuff. So Star Trek Strange New Worlds, of course, which
What's happening in
shows.
Star Trek Strange New Worlds, LeRon?
Okay, well for anyone that's
Pretend
not
I know what you're talking about.
okay, all right, well
No Kirk, I hear.
yeah, no Kirk. It's actually a prequel.
It's
It's
the
actually a
guy.
prequel.
It's pre-Kirk.
Yeah, it's the guy who had command of the Enterprise before Kirk shows up and stuff like that. But the cool thing is Kirk's brother is on the show.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, Kirk's brother is on the show because Kirk's brother was in Starfleet at one point. So yeah, his brother's on the show. And And basically, so yeah, it follows Christopher Pike and Spock and the first officer that we ever learned about in Star Trek, which is a woman played by Rebecca Romaine, and basically like they just do it's supposed to be not serialized. They're doing episodic stories that are self-contained stories and stuff. I'm like real soon y'all are gonna get tired of this. Y'all are gonna have like some story arcs, but whatever. But it's a really refreshing show, and I've been talking to a lot of my Trekkie friends about it, and they say out of all the new Star Trek shows, like this is their favorite one so far. And I'm not sure if it's my favorite one because I'm still a Star Trek Discovery fan. And Picard season 2 just ended not too long ago, and that was a really strong season. It was, in my opinion, it was a lot better than Picard season 1. And like we've got 5 Star Trek shows right now, and Paramount Plus is doing their damnedest to make sure Star Trek is on every week.
Wait, 5? So wait, okay, so you have Strange New Worlds, you have Picard, you have Discovery.
You've got Lower Decks, which is an animated show, and then you've got Prodigy, which is a CG animated show, and that one is actually supposed to be on Nickelodeon. I'm not sure if it's actually on Nickelodeon or not, or if it's on Paramount Plus Premium as a Nickelodeon show, but all of them are serious Star Trek. Oh, even Lower Decks, because Lower Decks is supposed to be the comedy show. So think The Simpsons, in Star Trek, but it's actually gotten more serious because they found their balance between giving us fan service, for the comedy show and actually making it feel like Star Trek. Yeah. So there's 5 shows. There's I know they've got 2 more in the works. One they kind of kept under wraps, like we don't know anything about it. And then there's supposed to be another one coming with Michelle Yeoh, because she was on 3 seasons of Star Trek Discovery. And then her character, something happened to her character, and she's no longer on Discovery, but she's supposed to be popping back up in a new series.
That show's been on for 3 seasons.
4 seasons.
Oh, geez, I had no idea.
Yeah, 4 seasons. And the cool thing is, like, Star Trek, just like Star Wars has its haters, like Star Trek has haters too. Like a lot of people swear up and down like this new Trek is not Star Trek and all that stuff. But if it's not doing that well, why the hell is Discovery getting a season 5? Why is Picard getting a season 3? Why is Strange New Worlds been renewed before the first episode came out for a second season?
Right.
Wow. Lower Decks getting a 3rd season. Prodigy, has gotten greenlit for a 2nd season. Like, it must not be bad Trek everywhere.
Some people, I mean, some people just can't be happy with what they get,
They can't, and here's the thing about it. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
Yeah. You don't have to watch everything,
Yeah, if you don't like it, don't watch it.
Look, Josh.
Yeah, I see it.
Josh heard me talking about Moon Knight, and he shows up.
I saw. But he's going the Patrick Stewart route first.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, Patrick Stewart is cool. He's the man. He's old, but he's the man.
Yeah, like I'm ready for him to pull a Sean Connery and say I'm retiring.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not ready for him. I'm just expecting it at this point,
I'm not ready for Professor X to retire.
Nobody's ready. But hey, you got James McAvoy, who does an actual pretty good Professor X.
He does. My thing with the X-Men movies is the cast was amazing, but the movies were just not great.
They're all over the place.
First Class was good. Class was good. Days of Future Past was okay. They progressively got worse, I would say.
Yeah, it did.
So, anyways, Josh says Moon Knight where? You missed that talk.
Josh, was Moon Knight good? Tell me the truth.
So I've been rewatching Agent Carter for Standard Def, and man, that first season is really good. I love Haley Atwell in that role though. I mean that whole show was just awesome.
I love because Agent Carter is basically like it's a caper show. I've always liked caper shows, storylines that are capers, and the whole 2 seasons of Agent Carter, each season is its own big caper. I love it,
and I love the time period, and like it's obviously set in the Marvel universe, but it's not like a real superhero show, like.
Yeah.
And like the little hints to like obviously there's a whole episode with the Howling Commandos, and then the obviously the Black Widow agent, which before their Black Widow, like
Yeah.
it was cool. It was
I love me some Dottie Underwood.
oh god. Yeah.
I love Dottie Underwood.
Oh man, that show is just it's a gem. I'm sad that we didn't get a third season. Although could be getting
Captain Carter.
yeah, which I would be okay with. Although it probably wouldn't be set in this time period.
Yeah.
So I mean it's fine. That's fine. I like the show and I like the time period, and I think the guy that plays Jarvis is funny.
All right. Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, I've been doing that. I haven't really been playing a lot because I've been redesigning everything because I'm a loser. But
I've been doing some gaming.
Yeah, what are you playing? What are you gaming? Monster Hunter.
The Monster Hunter Sunbreak demo came out last night. So like after I cut the podcast, like I jumped on that, played a couple of real quick missions. Well, yeah. I played the missions that were designed around the new game mechanics, but I haven't tackled any of those any of the 4 quests that are available in there just yet. To fight the monsters and stuff. But I have been playing The Quarry, and dude, let me tell you, it's a good game. I know you're not into like scary games and horror and all that stuff.
That's correct.
But it's a good game. Like I would recommend anyone that's interested in it to go ahead and pick it up and give it a try. It's like number one, like the vocal cast is fucking crazy. You got Lance Henriksen, Ariel Winter, Justice Smith is in Evan Evagora, like David Arquette. Like man, the voice talent alone is like man, like I understand why this is a $60 game, because like I feel somewhere it really should have been a $40 game.
Yeah.
They had to pay those actors,
cast, man.
They had to pay those actors. But yeah, it's good. I feel like I said this last night on Crossroads. I feel like the pacing's a little slow, but it might also be because like I'm one of those people. I'm kind of a completionist, so like I have to explore every nook and cranny. When I'm playing a game like this, and sometimes it pays off because like you discover these things called you discover these tarot cards, and at the end of each chapter, like the game narrator per se
right.
will read your tarot card, and it'll give you a glimpse of something that's going to happen in the next chapter, and that helps change sway which path you decide to go on the story and stuff like that. So that was cool. I'm also like trying to play catch up on my Mass Effect run, because Story and I really have to like continue the standard definition for that real soon. And that's the major parts. Like I'm just getting ready for Monster Hunter, and I'm also getting ready for Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles tomorrow is going to be.
Oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna lose so much sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I probably won't get to play it until Friday, to be honest, because I'm just trying to catch up on some stuff. But I'm super excited for Ninja Turtles, and yeah, I mean 6-player co-op, that's super cool. The Casey Jones reveal at Summer Game Fest was like the best ever. So yeah, I'm excited for Turtles. What have I been playing? I really haven't been playing anything. I haven't even played Destiny in like 2 weeks. So
oh man.
Yeah, I'm not.
Man, who are you? What have you done to my Corey?
I'm just a busy man, LeRon, trying to.
Oh, I hear you.
Just trying to make dreams come true, Whatever that means at this point. Oh man. So, yeah, I know the last couple days we've talked about on separate occasions the like Summer Game Fest and the Xbox Bethesda showcase and everything else that kind of happened in the last couple weeks in terms of showcases and stuff. Or let's talk about some of the stuff. I know you're probably excited for Callisto Protocol. What did you think about
Yeah.
that kind of reveal? I want to talk about that first.
Okay. All right. Well, as we know, like when they announced it with that teaser trailer last year, I was like, you already know, like this is in my library before it's even out.
Right.
um, yeah, but this gameplay trailer that was revealed that came out last week. Wow. I mean,
It was
it's
brutal.
yeah, it's brutal. It's what we expect from like the creators of the Dead Space trilogy.
Right.
Well, not even the Dead Space trilogy, the Dead Space universe is what we expected. Man, the kills. One of the things I remember doing when I was playing Dead Space was looking, allowing myself to get killed just to see how gruesome they are. And man, like in that at the end of the trailer where that thing bit that guy's face off, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was gross. That was pretty gross. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, but it's got all the stylings of Dead Space, which I love,
I mean,
I think some.
even down to like the collar being the health bar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, and there's some people out there that didn't get the connection that this is from the same team that did Dead Space because they're like, oh, this must be a ripoff of Dead Space. I'm like, no, it's not a ripoff of Dead Space. It's what Dead Space could have become, if EA hadn't, stepped in it.
Hmm. Yeah. And then I'm glad it's coming out before the Dead Space remake too.
I know that, but that puts me in a bind because like this game comes out in December and Dead Space Remake comes out in January, which means I can't mess around.
Yeah, but this game can't be that long,
It
right?
can't be that long, but I also know even though I love even though well I'm not gonna say I love survival horror games. Like I used to be a big survival horror person, and then I kind of like got out of it because like Resident Evil and games of that ilk just got stale for me at a certain point. Like there was no more excitement to be had. And Dead Space was the game that brought me back into survival horror. But then I pick and choose like when I'm gonna, what survival horror games I'm playing. So like right now I'm playing The Quarry. Like that's the first scary game I've actually thought about playing since Alien Isolation. You know,
Hmm.
and so yeah, so I'm one of those people that at this point I kind of take my time playing these games. So, like whereas like I ate Dead Space up the first time I played in like a week, the Callisto Protocol, I'm probably going to be a little bit slower because I also hate dying in these games. I only like dying in these games. I'm trying to see the cinematics for how you can die. But beyond that, like when I'm actually trying to play the game and stuff, I hate dying. So like if I'm progressing and I get like murked, I'm probably gonna put it down for the night.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, like the only game where I know I'm gonna power through is gonna be I'm probably gonna power through Callisto Protocol because I have much love for the ex Visceral or EA Redwood studio. I have much love for those guys. And I want to support them.
Right.
But I know for sure all bets are off when the Dead Space remake comes out. Like shit. As a matter of fact, I keep promising Stephanie that I'm gonna restart my Dead Space trilogy run. Yeah.
Good thing she's
Yeah.
not here to scold you on that.
I know. I know. Yeah. But man, the Callisto Protocol, yo, that weapon, that
Yeah.
handgun he has that has like a kinesis module in it. Yeah. I was like, what the? I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's like a almost like a gravity gun
Yeah.
type thing. Man.
And what was crazy about it is like you hit them with it, and the creatures like kind of glitch out.
Hmm.
It's like they're stuck in place, but they're also glitching, and it's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. Yeah, that game looks like if I was into horror games, that would be one that I would be playing, but I'm not. I'm
You're not even into horror movies, are you?
no.
Okay, okay. So
I,
it's
I
just
don't
it's
even
just
I didn't even like watching things that have any hint of like scariness to them. I just
so how are you powering through Star Wars right now? Because I gotta say, this is one of the scarier Star Wars games.
but I mean, look, it's not
I said game, I meant a
yeah.
show.
I it's not like brutally scary and it's not like jump scares or anything either. It's just like I don't know. Like I won't watch something like I think the last scary movie I think I watched for real was the first Saw movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and it's not even that scary. It's just like a gross puzzle, right?
Yeah, shoot. Saw 3 got me out of watching those movies.
I don't even. Yeah, I don't know. Like to me, also like brutality. A lot of like brutality really doesn't.
Yeah.
I can't really watch that either. Like The Boys, for example, is a show that I desperately want to be into because it's such a cool premise, but it's
Mm-hmm.
so brutal and so gory that like I have to stop. Like I could only watch like one episode at a time when I was watching it, to the
Yeah,
point where I just stopped because it was too gross, you know.
I
So
hear you.
and like I don't want to be that way. Like I wish I could just sit there and enjoy it and be like, oh man, that's gross. Let's move on. I just some reason I just can't. Just can't. So yeah. But I think I'm gonna start watching The Boys again because I heard the season's really good.
I've heard the season is good too. I've never started the show.
Yeah, I got like 5 or 6 episodes in, and there's a point where I don't know. I don't even remember why I stopped watching it. I just remember it being really gross, and I just stopped watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Although the scene that always gets me in that show, they don't even show anything gross. They just talk about it. Where like they're in this. So the premise of the show, spoilers, I guess, for the first 5 minutes of The Boys, right? This guy,
Mm-hmm.
his girlfriend is accidentally murdered by one of the superheroes, uh, and they try to
Oh, is
cover it.
that Carl Urban's character?
No,
Oh, it's not.
no, it's the guy with like the weird curly hair and looks very unassuming. Like he's like the main
Okay.
character of the show besides Carl Urban.
Okay.
And like Carl Urban convinces him to go to this like it's like a it's similar to like what veterans go to when they come back from war, like a support group type
Mm-hmm.
thing. And the scene that gets me is when they're sitting in there and the guy's talking about how he was dating a superhero that like she was like Iceman from X-Men, and they were having sex and she froze and snapped his dick off. And like
Whoa.
and I was like I that scene just in my head is like that's I don't know why that affects my
Whoa.
brain so bad, but like that, and I think I watched one episode after that and I stopped watching. But for some reason, out of all the gore and all the gross things that happen in the show, that's the scene
Yo,
that
that's
got me.
hard. That's hardcore though.
Yeah. So, yeah. Ugh, I don't even want to think about it. It hurts to think about.
Well, I heard there's something happened in the first episode of this new season. I think you might want to brace yourself.
What happens? I mean, you can spoil it for me. I don't care. What do you hear that happens?
Okay, well there's this guy that he can shrink himself down,
Yeah.
and he's doing a little bit of sex play with this other dude, and this other dude basically has him like walk inside his dick.
Hmm.
And basically he wants him to get far enough to tickle his prostate. While the guy's inside of him, he sneezes, and when he sneezes, it causes him to lose focus on his power, and he goes back to his normal state, like his tall self,
Mm-hmm.
and he explodes the guy from the inside.
Mm.
And the only reason why I even know about this scene, well, number one, it was being talked about, but it was being talked about, and I didn't have that much context to know it was The Boys. But then someone decided to share a clip of it, and so like I just happened to be like I was like, what is this? And I was like, what is this? What the hell is going on? Like, oh my god!
Gross.
Right? Yeah. So now I know that's happening, and the crazy part is like, okay, I'm intrigued enough now that I think I want to watch it.
Yeah. It's
Something's wrong with me. I guess I like this kind of body horror when it's meant to be funny.
Yeah, I mean,
It's kind
yeah.
of I kind of understand why people love the Evil Dead movies. You know, it's body horror, but it's meant to be
Mm-hmm.
funny or satire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what was that movie?
I
What
mean,
was the movie with
even in Obi-Wan and like I want to say probably the first episode, like when they're looking for him in the town,
yeah.
and like Reva just straight up cuts that lady's hand off for like just
Right?
out of nowhere. Like even
I
that,
was
I was
like
like, ooh,
I was like, man, number one, it was so unprovoked.
yeah,
I mean, well, I guess the lesson here is don't run your mouth, you know?
yeah,
Because I mean, that lady was kind of talking shit.
yeah, but you know, gross.
And I mean, like it was super fast how like that hand just came off.
Yeah, it just kind of flopped off. I was like, oh god, gross.
Yeah, man. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Also, the same reason why I didn't watch Game of Thrones, because I heard of all the gross things that happened in that show. I'm like, nope.
You know what? It was few and far between, in my opinion. Like you didn't like. I feel like Spartacus Blood and Sand had more gore than Game of Thrones did.
Yeah,
And like the stuff that you thought you think should have like they should have played out, like they didn't really play out, like, for example, Ramsay Bolton getting his face bitten off by one of his own dogs, like, honestly, as detestable as that character is, I think they should have shown us. They didn't. They showed the dog clamp on him, but that was as far as they went.
huh. Well, still gross.
Yeah.
I did watch a scene from The Boys. I don't know what season or what episode it is, but Carl Urban's character, I guess somewhere within the show, he gets superpowers, and he like cyclopses some guy's face in half, and like they show his head slide off and his brain fall out of his face.
Woo!
I was like, that's
Yeah.
why I don't watch The Boys.
This show is created by the same person that gave us Supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've ever
Well,
watched
it's probably why
Supernatural,
Jensen Ackles is kind of
well,
like
that's it too. Like, yeah, yes. But if you've ever watched Supernatural, like, Supernatural kind of pushed the boundaries what they could on network television with their violence. So
Yeah.
so now he's got like Amazon money.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess The Boys just got renewed for season 4, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I
Good
think
for them. Good for them.
I think I'll start watching again because like I really like the cast. I really like Carl Urban. I like the premise of like commercializing superheroes, like real superheroes, and
Mm-hmm.
like the company that monetizes them has their own movie studio and their own energy drinks and their own sports teams and stuff that the superheroes have to like promote and do and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think the premise is super interesting. I just got to get past the nastiness. But yeah, Dead Callisto Protocol, cool. Looks cool, like a cool horror game for people who want one of those. Was there anything else that you enjoyed thoroughly from those showcases? Was there anything else that got you excited besides Ninja Turtles?
Starfield. Okay, I'm officially on board with Starfield now.
All right,
I'm officially on board.
Let's talk about Starfield because like I'm not, but I'm also not a Bethesda Game Studios person.
I'm not nerdy for their stuff either. Like I haven't taken them seriously since Fallout. Shit, which Fallout? What's the last one I played? Fallout 3?
Fallout 76.
No, I didn't play 76. I didn't play 4. I didn't play New Vegas. So yeah, the last one I played was
3.
was Fallout 3. Yeah, I played the Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition back on PS3. Yeah, that's the last Fallout game I actually played seriously. So yeah, so I did get excited when I heard that they're interested in the pit in Fallout 76, but at the same time, like, oh, this is Fallout 76. I'm not playing that shit.
It's free though, and it's on Game Pass, so you could technically log in and play it if you wanted.
Okay, I guess there's that.
If you wanted, no pressure. Yeah, so Starfield looks interesting. It's so they're kind of like out there saying, hey, there's over 1,000 planets that you can go to and do stuff on there. Like, is this a Mass Effect 2 situation where like, yeah, there's a ton of planets in this game, but you can really only land.
Do
do missions
That's
on
the
them
way I
on like
feel.
15 of them, you know?
That's the way I feel. And you know what? I really want to ask like developers and producers and stuff. Stop telling us this crap.
Hmm.
Stop telling this crap if only 5% of it is true.
Yeah. Also, by the way, side tangent, did you see that he confirmed Fallout 5 after Elder Scrolls?
Yes.
I'm like,
Yes.
why do you keep saying words? Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
That game is 10 years away.
You got to get StarCraft out the way. You got to get Elder Scrolls out the way.
Yeah,
Like, damn,
look,
stop.
Elder Scrolls is in pre-production right now.
Yeah.
Pre-production.
Yep.
You really think that game's coming out in 5 years? No.
No. No. What would?
Ugh. Just stop. Stop saying words.
Yeah, they really need to. They really need to. I get it. Like, yeah, it's easier to say that Fallout 5 is in plans. Say that.
I get it, but like, stop. Just stop. Just I don't want to hear anything else.
Because
Of course, like I get it. Okay, you want to tell people what's like on your roadmap and stuff, but like, of course, Bethesda Game Studios is making another Elder Scrolls and another Fallout game. Of course they are.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they? But just stop, man. Elder Scrolls 6 was announced 4 years ago, and it's just now entering pre-production. Shut up. Anyway, Starfield. It. You were saying that you want to question the devs about this stuff.
Uh, eh, it's just more on the fact is like don't say stuff like that. Like and like over 1,000 worlds that you can visit and stuff like that. I don't believe it. Because not even No Man's Sky can deliver that.
And they're saying that you could land anywhere on these planets, too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's not just specific.
I don't believe that either. I guarantee you're going to go to a planet and it's going to maybe like 2 or 3 ports at best you can land at, if that. Like shit. Some planets are probably so inhospitable you can only land in one place and even do some shit.
Yeah.
Like let's be honest. Let's be honest. Like look at how our galaxy is. Like like if we were able to travel through space, a little bit more than we could, I guarantee you every every planet or planetoid that we come across is not going to be landable.
Right.
Stop doing that. Because then you got. You're telling me like you spent all this time mapping out all these planets?
Yeah. Why?
No.
Like, why would you do that? First of all,
no.
Like I would have rather them just have like, okay, so you have one dense solar system, right? I would have rather them just done that.
Yeah.
And
or just or tell people that like tell people there are 1,000 planets in the game that you can visit, but give us realistic expectations. Yeah, you can see every planet, but that doesn't mean you can land on every planet. That doesn't mean you can interact with every planet and stuff like that. Like just say, hey, we have a dense galaxy. It's filled with planets and stars and all this stuff. Like don't because somewhere out there, someone's taking it really seriously, and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to land on every single planet. I'm going to get every achievement," and you're going to be like, "Yeah, you're going to play the game for 700 hours."
Gosh, people are just. Yeah, I actually think that having that many planets is going to make the game functionally worse.
Yes. Yeah.
And not that Bethesda Game Studios games are particularly polished in a lot of ways.
When you have a game that's too wide open, like there's just more room for bugs.
Yeah. And especially like working on a new engine and stuff, like it would have been more palatable if you had like you said, like, okay, there's 1,000 planets in this game that maybe you can mine or maybe you can like see or whatever, but there's really only 15 or 20 planets that have
at best.
Yeah, that have like real things to do on them, and I don't know. Look, we haven't played the game yet. Right? It's obviously not out.
Yeah.
I'm very concerned about how large this game is when, on PlayStation, if you put too many wheels of cheese in a house, that game just froze up, right? Like it's just I'm concerned. I think that players have some things to be concerned about. And I know Austin is like super excited for it. I don't want to take anybody's excitement away, right?
Yeah.
But the concept seems interesting. But for me, it's just I don't know.
I told the Crossroads crew like I'm probably going to spend real money on this because it looks impressive. But you know what? I think I will at least grab the Game Pass copy first
Yeah,
before
yeah,
before I
play it
make a
on
real
Game Pass
decision.
first. What are
Yeah.
you doing? Like that's what I've been doing. Is like, oh, I'll play it on Game Pass, and if I really like the game, I will buy it outright. Like Outriders, right? Like
Mhm.
it came to Game Pass, and I was like, oh man, I really love this game. So when it was like half price, I ended up just buying it straight up. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, Starfield is worrisome. Although the other game they showed off first, Redfall, also seems really worrisome, and some news was coming out today that also has me worried about it. Uh,
I was not impressed.
I
I mean,
wasn't either. I wanted to be like Redfall seemed cool. Like it's like
it never seemed cool to me.
I
It,
was
it
like
never did.
I was like, all right, the Division with vampires, let's go, and it's not. It's like Vampire Borderlands. It seems like, and
Yeah, yeah, really, yeah.
I'm just like I'm a little bit lower on Redfall also, and not that I was like gonna be super. I'm not like a super pro Redfall player or anything, right? But
Mhm.
I this seems like one of those games that's gonna have a really silent following, and this game's gonna be massive for Xbox, but nobody's gonna talk about it, right? Similar to
Yeah.
like Ghost Recon, right? Remember when Ghost Recon Wildlands sold like 25 million units, but nobody talked about it?
Nobody talked about it, which led me to believe that nobody played it.
Yeah. Uh, I think it's going to be one of those games. Uh,
Hmm.
so, yeah, that was that Xbox conference was kind of. Don't get me wrong.
It had some meat and potatoes to it. I'll
It
put it that way.
it did. It had a lot of great stuff. And
It
I'm really glad that we have like a roadmap and like okay, these are
Yeah,
the games we're going to play for the next 12
in the
months,
next
right?
12 months, which that roadmap was pretty nice.
Yeah.
That roadmap was pretty nice, and like it, and like because I was on the I was on EXP Cast Sunday for the live for that,
Hmm.
and we talked about a lot of stuff, and it's 50 games on that roadmap that they had. It was easier to count the games that weren't coming to Game Pass than to say what was, and I mean like there's only 8 games that are not they're not going to be Game Pass games, stuff like
Yeah.
that. We're talking Dead Space remake, Resident Evil 4 remake,
Yeah, the games that are on the infographic, right? Like,
yeah, Callisto Protocol, Overwatch 2.
but
I thought I thought they when they said free to play it was Game Pass, but I guess it's not.
no. Well, here's the thing. The thing with, by the way, the Blizzard games that showed off Overwatch and Diablo 4 are.
Diablo,
I'm not a
yeah,
huge Diablo person. Like I played Diablo
I
3.
am.
Like I
I
played
am.
Diablo 3, but like Diablo 4, I'm like let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
But like by the time these games come out, Microsoft will own Activision and they will probably be on Game Pass.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and I know Overwatch's PvP is free to play, but that campaign is going to be on Game Pass.
Hmm.
You know, because that's like the big thing for Overwatch is that they're adding a campaign.
Yeah.
And that I'm sure will definitely be on Game Pass. So, man, I
Uh,
remember when Overwatch was like the biggest game on the planet for like
yeah.
2 years, and now it's just like nothing. It
Yeah,
feels
like what? Yeah, like what happened? Was it just the internal strife at the developer studio? Is that what?
no. What happened was like they started focusing the game more towards esports and really balancing it towards competitive play because of the Overwatch League, and they really needed to
Mhm.
balance the game and towards that competitive play. And
Mhm.
then what really turned the community off was they turned it from a 6v6 game into a 5v5 game, and then they limited how many like DPS versus tanks versus support players you could have per team.
Uh-huh.
And that really made a lot of people angry as well. So
Mhm.
they kind of just like took away everything that people really loved about the game. Like if you wanted 5 Winstons, which is the big gorilla, or 6 Winstons on a team, you could when the game launched.
Mhm.
And three
But
win.
now it had to be one of each character.
Yeah, and if somebody picks that
Okay.
character on the other team, you couldn't pick it for your team. I think is one
Oh,
of
are
the
you for
changes
real?
too. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I
It
didn't know
got
that. That's kind of bullshit.
it got like real meta like that, and people just
Mhm.
did not care for that. So I wonder if they're gonna change some things. I really liked Overwatch. I played a lot of Overwatch for a long time because, especially when Destiny was in a lull, I played a lot of Overwatch, and I got really good as a support character. And I would play more Overwatch, I think, if this one turns out to be better than what they changed the other one to be.
Mhm.
So, also good things for Diablo and Overwatch: cross play and cross progression,
Yeah.
which is
Yes.
also
Yes.
cool.
More of that shit, please.
Yes, yes. That means we could play together. I will like if you're serious about playing Diablo, I'll play it with you.
Oh yeah, like I love Diablo. I love Diablo. As a matter of fact, when the announcement that Diablo 4 was coming out like a couple of years ago, like it made me reinstall like freaking it made me reinstall Diablo 3.
Yeah. Uh, they tried that with Destiny. The live comp streams were not great. Yeah, I know. The Destiny's competitive multiplayer. One hitter 151 is in our chat talking about. Yeah, Destiny competitive. It has been a joke for years. To the point where I think a lot of the competitive players have kind of just moved on. I think the only competitive players still out there that are big are like, I think Fallout Plays still does a lot. I think True Vanguard still does a lot. Glad, I'm not sure if he does PvP a lot anymore, but yeah, Dado does a lot of PvP. So there's players still out there that talk about PvP, but Destiny is not a PvP game anymore. It is a PvE game that has a PvP component, and yeah, these I hate when they try to balance things so much that that it just ruins the game. And the fact that in Destiny you can play with PC players now is just a joke, right? Because no matter what, if you get, because one of my friends plays Destiny on PC and we play with him a lot, but when we went into Iron Banner, we forgot that he was playing on PC, and me and my friend Mitch were the only two console players in the room, and we got smoked because
Mm.
first person shooter on PC, right? I mean, if you're
Mm-hmm.
playing on console, you're toast.
Yep.
So
Well, maybe these games get well. Number one, like like there's always going to be the problem of playing on a controller versus keyboard and mouse.
yeah,
Because like once these games start getting variable refresh rate and stuff like that, like
hmm
that will definitely change some stuff.
yeah.
But at the same
Well,
time,
Series X already has variable refresh rate,
yeah, you just need to plug a keyboard and mouse into it now.
which you can do on some games. I know Halo supports it.
Hmm.
And then you just go into the, like, for crossplay and stuff on those games, you just go in and say you don't want to play against keyboard and mouse players,
Hmm.
which I know there's ways around it, but it works pretty fair for the most part. Which was another game that didn't show up. Halo was not there at all. No
Yeah, I
comment
didn't.
on co-op,
I I didn't
Forge.
expect anything. I didn't expect anything from Halo, to be honest with you. Like they like.
I was expecting a little bit on, like, hey, here's an update on Forge, here's an update on co-op, campaign co-op, and here's an update on season 3, which is supposed to be hitting sometime in November, I want to say.
Mm.
Man, what a game. What a game. That game was so good. And talk about a game that just fell off the face of the earth. Halo. Halo, like, that game was so fun for like a month, and it's gone.
It happens. It happens.
I know, man, but I thought like Halo Infinite was going to be the one that turned it around. You know.
You weren't alone in that. I'm not gonna say I'm not a Halo fan, but I know a lot of people that they thought that this is it.
Mm-hmm.
And like our friends over at Diggity, Jeff and Brody, like man, they're utterly disappointed with how Halo turned out.
Yeah. Uh, and that's just crazy. Like, I played Halo all the way up until the Witch Queen came out, I think. Like,
Hmm.
I played. I was alternating between like the story stuff for Destiny and then multiplayer in Halo, and I played it all the way until Witch Queen came out, and then I haven't touched it since. Like, I literally have not even touched Halo since. So sad, 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 sad. Uh, what else excited you, LeRon?
Let's see what else. What else on the show excited me? Let me see. I already talked about Diablo. The two. What was the Okay, the game Flintlock. Like I'm interested in that. And what was the other game?
Flintlock. What was Flintlock? Oh, that third person action kind of.
Yeah, where like you're playing as this lady and she's
Mhm.
running around with this axe and all of a sudden she's like, wow, like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like it's like how come she wasn't like I was like how come she wasn't doing that the whole time? You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
What else? Shoot. Hold on. You know what? Hold on. I can pull all this stuff up. High on Life. That game looks zany enough that
Oh
I'm
my
going to try
gosh.
it. You know, it's
You
going to
and
be on.
Josh, man. Josh was all about that
Oh no
game.
no no no! I'm not raving about the
No,
game.
you
I'm
are.
not.
I heard you. You said that game is amazing. 10 out of 10.
No no no. I feel like he's digging at you, Josh. If you're still in chat. um, yeah, yeah, but Flintlock for sure. Uh, okay, let's talk about As Dusk Falls for a moment.
Okay. Yeah.
I I plan on playing that game, but I'm not as excited as I was when they first announced it now. Because they announced it a while back.
Yeah.
And I was more excited for it then than I am now because like the it's the animation for me, you know. It's more like it's still frame animation, you know, and not just, you know, like someone just took the time and animated the damn game and the characters and all that stuff, you know. So
Yeah.
I don't know how I really feel about that, but given the simple fact that it's going to play just like some of my favorite games, which are Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human, it's got my attention.
Hmm.
And I'm always in for a good story that you know like that will get you to interact with the game just as much as the game interacts with you, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's that. A big win for Microsoft getting Persona.
Yeah. I mean,
Big win.
I'm actually happy with that because like I've
And you're
been
getting the
wanting to
best
play.
versions of those games.
I know they're getting. I'm excited to play. So I played a lot of Persona 4 Golden on the Vita when
Hmm.
I had one, and then my Vita died, and then I couldn't finish it. But I've been wanting to play Persona 5 for a while,
Uh,
but as you know, I do not have a PlayStation currently,
yeah.
and so I was like, I'm not gonna buy it for like obviously I have a library of games for PlayStation that I could go in and be like, oh yeah, I can play this, I can play this, I can play Horizon now and God of War is coming out and Final Fantasy 16. Like there's games that I can get a PlayStation for, right? I'm not digging that, but like I just keep saying, man, I don't know, but I'm glad it's coming to Game Pass too. Game Pass day one. Uh, so that I'll probably check it out this fall, to be honest, because there's
Mhm.
not a lot coming out this fall that I'm like super
Yeah.
interested in playing. Right? I mean, besides Gotham Knights and Hogwarts Legacy, and I mean, like first,
Which, by the way, has Hogwarts been delayed yet? Because I've
no,
okay.
the rumor is it's going to be delayed to next year. It's that rumor's been floating around for a while, but they swear it's
Uh-huh.
coming out this holiday. So the Switch version will get delayed because it's the Switch version, and then
It's the Switch
it'll
version.
probably ultimately get canceled or ported to like a cloud version. But I don't know. I really want to play that game a lot.
Hmm.
But I mean, in terms of like Switch stuff, I know a lot of people are excited for a lot of stuff coming out this fall for Switch, and rightly so. There's a lot of great things like Splatoon and you know, Bayonetta 3. I think looks interesting, but I'm
Yeah.
not. And Pokemon will sell a bajillion copies, and there's a rumor that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct on the
I really, I really
29th.
wish
But
someone could tell me the real draw of Pokemon. Like, I mean, like
it's
I wasn't
collecting.
into.
It's a simple RPG where you collect things. It's like the epitome of gaming, right? Like,
Mhm.
oh, gotta collect them all. Gotta go get them all.
I guess that's it because like I was never really fascinated by the Pokemon series, you know.
Hmm.
And the crazy part was over the years they as we got more and more like like hardware hardcore systems and stuff like that, like the Pokemon games didn't seem to evolve at all. So I was
Hmm.
like, oh, I'm playing a glorified Game Boy game on 3DS.
Hmm.
So it was one of those things. It's like it was. I just couldn't understand it, and I felt like, like, is this just laziness or whatnot, And I know somewhere somebody is like taking out a hit on me for saying this stuff.
You mean our entire writing team? Sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm not insulting you guys. I love you, but
No,
I mean, like, we have such an aim towards Nintendo on the site, which is, fine and fair. And I know Pokemon is just super popular amongst everybody, but when you
I
when
don't
we
understand.
start,
I don't. Well, if I'm being honest with you, like now the writing team's gonna come after me. I don't understand how like nobody's really played Monster Hunter until the Switch version came out, given that 3 games were on the 3DS.
yeah,
3 games were on 3DS and two were on well, two were on the Wii U.
yeah,
I don't understand how like the writing team didn't play any Monster Hunter games till Switch.
yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. We like what we like when we play. We play, and that's what makes us unique.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what makes us a community, and that's what makes us unique at the same time.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like I can't ridicule people for what they like because I guarantee someone's like, you play a Monster Hunter game? What's wrong with you, bro?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, have you seen it?
Man, I really want to start playing Monster Hunter Rise, and I just.
Well, I would say don't. I would say don't mess with this demo. Oh God,
I'm not.
I feel like
have it. I have it installed on my Switch. I have Monster
have
Hunter
you
Rise
have
on my Switch, the full
have
game.
you played any of it? Have you played any
I
of it?
created my character and I went out of the town.
Just wait until Sunbreak comes out. Then don't mess with it right now because like if you start messing with it right now, you're going to be lost because like when Sunbreak comes out, it's the expansion and it's going to add whole new move sets and all that stuff. It's just better if you start right when Sunbreak happens and
Okay.
learn everything.
Okay.
I mean, I'm being honest. You're gonna be so lost because
I
Sunbreak
know.
is out in 15 days. Sunbreak is out in 15 days, so yeah, you're gonna be lost.
I know.
And I already said. I think I said Was it last night? No, yeah. Well, actually, Ed was helping me test out some things because if you guys didn't know, like Crossroads debuted an episode on live on YouTube and not Twitch as normal.
YouTube. What?
Yeah, like it was my first time actually doing a live podcast, on YouTube, but the plan is like eventually Crossroads is going to transition to YouTube. We're going to get there by episode 100. So like for now we're doing a staggered thing where like a couple of episodes happen on Twitch, then one episode happens on YouTube, then a couple more on Twitch and whatnot, and this gives me time to learn like everything I need to know about straight up streaming on YouTube because like it's a little bit of a process versus OBS. But yeah, so Ed was helping me get things figured out last night before the show went live, and Ed was talking to me about Monster Hunter Sunbreak, and I told him that I'm probably because of guys like you, Ed, Grayson, I probably, even though I pre-ordered my copy for PC, I'm probably going to buy a copy for Switch as well, and just have two different characters, which is going to piss me off because it means I'm going to be playing double time.
Why don't they just do cross save?
It was I don't know what the hell is wrong with
Like,
Capcom, especially when Capcom puts a damn poll out asking people what they want, and
it's not like Nintendo prevents that. So many games do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
The
Yeah,
Witcher,
no.
Civ, XCOM.
I'll be honest with you, Capcom's behind the curveball on this stuff because I mean, like they should have already been thinking about this because they had Monster Hunter World on Xbox, PlayStation, and eventually it came to PC.
But didn't they just announce that Street Fighter 6 is going to be cross-play and cross-progression?
You know what? Don't make me mad.
They just did that. I swear they just did that.
Don't make me mad.
I know it's crossplay. They announced it was
It probably is. It probably is.
And I think the skins and stuff because don't they have like skin packs that you can buy or whatever? That sounds so gross. Skin packs, gross. They're cross. You can, if you buy it on one platform, you can use them on another. I swear that's it. I swear you can. And that's what, because like, isn't that new Resident Evil 8 Mercenaries mode crossplay
Yep,
too,
it's crossplay. Yeah.
which that probably has cross progression as well, I would
Now I'm not
assume.
sure. Now I'm not sure if it's Capcom or it's the Monster Hunter team, but somebody's slipping out there because they had plenty of time to get this right. Like Monster Hunter's just been really effed up, because like I said, like like it launches on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, Monster Hunter World.
Hmm.
Then the PC version comes out 9 months later, and it's in a staggered release format. So like when updates come out for the PlayStation and Xbox, we're not getting the same updates on the PC. And it took them about 5 months to get everything caught up. They kind of put PC version on hurry up mode, and I think they did that because they knew people were modding the game, and basically like because we couldn't port our characters over, people were modding the game to fast track their characters to get caught up. I played it the traditional way before I modded my game, by the way, so Whereas it took me like 500 hours in Monster Hunter to get to a certain level, I surpassed that character. I surpassed that character on PC in 120 hours because I knew what I was doing.
Hmm.
Yeah. And so like here comes Monster Hunter Rise. It comes out on the Switch, and then it comes out on PC like 6 months later. No, actually, it was longer than that. I want to say it was almost 9 months, like it was Monster Hunter World, and like no cross save, no cross progression, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Makes people mad. Like not too many people worry about crossplay. But cross save was like would be the biggest thing they could have done.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they didn't do that, because that would have incentivized more people to double dip.
Right, and like shit in this economy, you want people to spend as much money in your game as possible.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So that just really bothers me. So yeah, but Street Fighter 6 though, I guess since we're kind of already on the Capcom train,
Looks fun.
it
Looks.
looks I'm interested. They have piqued my
Mhm.
interest. Not that I'm a fighting game person, but if there is a fighting game that I do enjoy button mashing,
Uh-huh.
it would be Street Fighter. Although I did buy Injustice to play as the Ninja Turtles for like 20 minutes, so that was fun also. But something tells me they're not going to put Ninja Turtles into Street Fighter. Although that'd be cool. They did do Street Fighter versus X-Men.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, what if they did that? Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. I'm very excited now for something that's never going to happen. How do you feel about Street Fighter? I mean, Daddy
Um.
Ryu, is that what everybody's calling him, right?
I think it's actually pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know if I'm on the train yet to get it.
Uh-huh.
But it looks good. I'm interested. I I I can't do but so many fighting games at a time. Like if I'm going to be devoted to Tekken, like I can't mess around and like play. It sounds stupid, but I'm kind of a one-track gamer, in certain regards. Like I'm one of those people like I'll easily get like the control mechanics like screwed up from one game to another because they play so similar and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, Street Fighter 6 looks amazing though. Like I probably will dabble with it. That can be said. I probably will dabble with it, but like more than likely, I'll probably treat it like I've treated whatchamacallit, like I treated like Street Fighter 5. Like I'll just wait until like the final version comes out. So arcade edition, ultimate.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's always like 5,000 versions, right? There's like 4 versions on Xbox right now on sale of Street Fighter 4,
Hmm.
right? There's like the normal version, the super version, the arcade version, the
Yeah.
championship edition. Like, it's just there's so many versions. It's so stupid. It's fine though. They'll get their money. They'll get their
It
season
looks
passes,
it
right?
looks gorgeous though.
Oh yeah, it looks really good. Chun-Li looks cool.
Hmm.
Yeah. Is there anything else that really excited you about anything that was announced?
Um.
Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not really excited for anything that was shown off at any of these things.
Oh really?
I mean, nothing like I'm like, man, I'm gonna get that day one. You know?
I'm probably gonna spend money on a Hot Wheels expansion for Forza Horizon.
Yeah. See, like the Hot Wheels expansion, then Forza Motorsport also looks really cool. But like, I think I know that I'm just gonna get Forza Motorsport because it's on Game Pass, right? So like, oh yeah, I'll just get it, when it comes out. Also, I'm not like a huge driving game fan, but like, there was just, I don't know, man. I've been in this funk where like I just can't get. I'm not excited for things, but like it's hard to get excited when it's not grabbing you, And
That's true. That is true.
the only thing that got me super excited was the Casey Jones announcement for Ninja Turtles was like the biggest thing for me.
That's because you're a Ninja Turtles nerd.
I know, but like, out of all the things that were shown the last week and a half, you would have thought like something else would have grabbed me, and nothing really did. I don't.
And I mean, there was a lot that they revealed and put out there. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
I'm looking.
Wolong Fallen Dynasty. That's the other one.
Yeah, that game looks really cool. That was like that Neo-esque game.
Yeah.
From Team Ninja. That game looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I will probably definitely play that. But like, I don't know. Like Diablo 4, I think was the thing that got me the most excited. Also, it's cool to see Rod Ferguson back on the Xbox stage, even though he left the Coalition to go to Blizzard to leave Xbox, and now Xbox owns Blizzard, technically.
It's funny how that happens.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of all I got. You got anything you want to talk about, or you want to?
No, I think I pretty much named everything that was good for me. Capcom Showcase was the Capcom Showcase was pretty fun, but then again, everyone knows like I was just losing my fucking mind about all the stuff they revealed for Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
like there was in the Monster Hunter trailer that very first dragon that showed up, the green and red one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I lost my mind because I thought we would never see this monster. This monster has been in Monster Hunter previously, but only in the PC version that was available in Japan way back in the Monster Hunter 2 days. And it was one of those things because they were like, well, this game is not considered canon, so like we're probably never going to see these monsters. And the fact that like Espina shows up and like I before they even showed the full body of the monster, I knew what it was. That's just how much like at one point like because Capcom used to have this portal, they used to call it the Monster Hunter portal, where basically like how Destiny has a portal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same thing where you go all the various region sites and stuff like that and see different things. Like I would go to the Monster Hunter Frontier site and just download all the artwork and stuff, and it would wind up being like like backgrounds, like backgrounds for my desktop and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And Espinas was one of them. So like I said, like when I saw just the faintest like hint of like green and red, I was like, ooh, that's Espinas. That's Espinas. But man, the reveals were insane for Monster Hunter World Sunbreak. And I just tell my friends, I was like, I tell friends who used to play Monster Hunter, but they don't play Monster Hunter anymore. I'm like, this is an exciting time to play Monster Hunter now. Like, World, like, basically changed the game.
Yeah, I see World on sale on Xbox like every other week. I'm like, I want to, but I feel like I should just wait for Monster Hunter 6 at this point.
Yeah, but if you wake me up one day and say, hey, I just got Monster Hunter World, I will jump on that and play that.
Yeah, but I would have played it on Xbox, and
you had to play it on
cross play.
Yeah, you had to play it on PC because I don't have an Xbox.
Yeah. So, anyways, well, I think we're gonna wrap it there.
Yeah, this was a good show.
Good show. Yeah,
this is a good show.
We
got to be Star Wars nerds.
We did. We got to. Yeah, man, Obi-Wan, man, great show. Everybody
I know you were waiting. I know you were waiting for at least me to get synced up on this show. So yeah, I was waiting
for somebody, man, anybody. We're gonna do
because I've been an episode behind.
Yeah, we're gonna. So when the show is over, we're gonna do a spoiler cast for the entire show. We're gonna have our friend of the show Andre on to talk about it.
Oh man.
Yeah. So. It'll probably be a combination of me, LeRon, and Andre, and maybe one other person if people are caught up. So
Ah, thanks for inviting me.
Really? You're gonna act like Ed here?
No. I didn't know if you already had it planned
Oh,
with other people.
no, dude. You know I don't have anything planned until like
Until the day of.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. Hope you enjoyed the new look. If you're watching, please subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/Boss Rush Network. If you listen on iTunes or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star rating or review. If you support us on Patreon, thank you. If you don't, head on over to patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. And for $1, you get a bunch of shows early. LeRon, again, thank you for your time tonight. As always, Where can we find you?
Just look for me everywhere at Exodus 803, EXODUS 803. So social media, Twitch and YouTube, PlayStation Network, Steam ID. You can find me there. Tuesday nights on either my YouTube channel or my Twitch channel at 8 p.m. You can find the Crossroads Podcast, where we talk about PlayStation, Xbox, and PC gaming, and a ton of other stuff in between. And also, you already know I'm here for the Boss Rush Podcast, but there's also that wonderful show After Dark, and I'm on various iterations of Standard Definition.
That is true. That is true. We're about to do a 2-man After Dark. Anyways,
Thank God this one's not live.
Oh God. You can find me at IamCoreyHC on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on Nintendo Power Block, Standard Definition, and a plethora of other content here on the Boss Rush Network. Remember to like, subscribe, share, rate, and review wherever you listen. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Have a good one.